Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Con Artist, and today I'm going to do something a little different. Since everybody's been talking bad about the Xbox One, its features, maybe its launch titles, the pay-to-play, pay-for-online, all of that nonsense, I'm going to do something a little different and try to discuss how Microsoft could have done things a little bit better and spoken to the gamers a little bit more efficiently, so that way everybody wouldn't be freaking the fuck out about DRM and having to online every 24 hours. I think the biggest mistake is that Microsoft was not clear about their vision and how they wanted to do things. They did not once let gamers know why it has to be connected every 24 hours, and they didn't say why there's going to be a restriction on used games and stuff like that. I think things could have been a whole lot better, a whole lot easier, and a lot smoother, and PlayStation wouldn't have had this giant uproar towards their console because Microsoft fucked up pretty bad. I do my best to see things a lot differently with a clear mind, no bias, which in my last video was a little biased because I was kind of upset with what Microsoft has done with the console and the route they've been taking, because it affects me. I'm an Xbox fan. I don't like using the word fan, but I'm going to use that for now. But I enjoyed their console for a long time. I enjoyed it more so than I did PlayStation 3 this console generation. And what would have helped them a whole lot, they were just clear on why they were doing the things that they were doing. I understand and I see that they're trying their best to make the Xbox One virtually similar to a PC. If they would have made announcements that games would have been cheaper, they would have had maybe the equivalent to Steam sales, buying games in bulk for extremely low prices, maybe they would have had the upper hand. But they did not explain anything like that. They didn't say anything near it, not even at all. And this is why people got upset and flipped the fuck out. There was no communication between them and the people who are going to buy their product. None whatsoever. That didn't happen. They didn't communicate why it has to connect to 24 hours all the time. And I was reading some stuff and I got the idea that virtually you can install any game that you buy onto your hard drive, right? You buy the game, let's say you go buy the game at GameStop, you purchase it, obviously, you don't fucking steal it from them. You go to the guy at the counter, hey, give me your shit, bitch. Or you find a used game on the counter, take it and walk away. I'm giving you guys advice on how to steal from GameStop. This is another video for another matter at another time. But yeah, you go to GameStop or any local retailer, you buy an Xbox One game, you install it to your hard drive because it's mandatory, and then it checks every 24 hours to see that if it's you or if it's your game connected to your account. What I'm thinking is going to happen and what's actually going on, what if you buy the game and install it, and then it's logged to your Xbox, it's locked to your account, you can still use it without the disc. Does that mean you can still sell that disc to GameStop because it had a used code or not? I don't know. That's what's really confusing. If maybe they would have got rid of the whole code thing, then it would have been a whole lot better, but it just doesn't add up. I don't know what route they're going to take, or trying to take for that matter. I understand they want to do completely digital. That's perfectly fine. But I don't think any population in any country is ready for stuff that isn't physical yet. We still use a lot of physical mediums for our entertainment, and we still have, let's say, collections of stuff that we hold on to for many years. My parents still have VHS tapes that are still around, and they still work. As long as you can find a VCR, you can still play those movies. They're still around. The physical media, people hold on to that type of thing. And my thing with a whole 24-hour check, it's like you buy your game, and what if they like, I've already said this before, but it's like, what if they shut down the servers? Your game is useless. You're never gonna have to use it. You can't use it until Microsoft turns back on the Xbox One servers. And that's just how it is. I've actually talked to my sister about the whole Xbox and PlayStation ordeal, and she's not a gamer. She used to play games when she was way younger with my brother. They used to play Nintendo and Metroid and stuff, so she's beat those games before. But as she got older, she just completely stopped. She hasn't touched the game since. She beat Bubble Bobble with me, which is fucking awesome, and that game was hard for Xbox. I mean Xbox Arcade, you know, it wasn't NES tile. But I've even talked to her about it, and I wanted to get her opinion on what she thinks from a non-gamer point of view, and I let her know the best way I can of what Xbox is trying to sell and what Sony's trying to sell. So I let her know about the whole used game thing. I let her know about the online and stuff Microsoft is trying to do, and she doesn't understand why they are doing these things. She's like, what's their main selling point with this product if it seems like most of these things are negatives to the majority of gamers right now? If Microsoft did their best to explain why DRM is a good, like, why blocking used games or why connecting online is a good thing, things would have been so much different. There wouldn't have been such an uproar to Microsoft and people hating on them completely. I don't think it would have happened. I don't think I wouldn't have gotten bothered as much about the whole thing. And don't get me wrong, you know, this thing doesn't affect me. I'm always online anyway. I never buy used games. I always buy my shit new. Always, always, always. But I look out for other people. You know, if it doesn't affect me, it might affect somebody else. And if that's the case, then that's not fair to that person. Why should I care? That's just how I am. With all of that said, just seeing the way things are going, it's almost like a flipped reality in a sense, where Sony did the same thing in 2006. They had a good-ass, strong-ass, powerful console, but didn't really explain why they did the things that they did, and they just sold the PS3, the fat one on the market, for $599 US dollars. Is there anything other than dollars that's not US? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now. So if history will repeat itself, I can see the Xbox One being the underdog this next generation, but will eventually win people back, win gamers' hearts, and will come back and be top-selling console. Maybe in the US, but not around the world. Because it seems to me this is primarily obviously a US-made console, but sold to a US market. A lot of the features that it has, it's not, you know, especially with the cable aspect, that's not being supported in other parts of the world yet. They said not yet. You can do the cable stuff in America, but you can't do that in some parts of Europe, Australia, and whatnot. You can't do any of that yet. But it's just a matter of time until we see and find out what's really going to happen this next generation, because in reality I still don't know what to expect, and a lot of us don't know either. I have friends that are still supporting the Xbox, and a lot of it has to do with, it's just a comfort zone. It's what you like, and maybe you like Xbox more than PlayStation. Maybe you never were into PlayStation in the first place, and that's completely understandable. And I have friends that never really liked PlayStation either, and they started playing with the Xbox. You know, they had PS2 before, but the Xbox is kind of what brought them into it. And it just brought them to this point. They want to get the Xbox One, regardless of what people are saying about it, which they are completely in the minority that they really like the Xbox One and what it does. They still want to buy it, regardless of all the crap that Sony fanboys and people who don't like Microsoft that the bullshit that they're going to give them. Pretty much, they're still going to buy the console. And you know, as for me, I'm a gamer. I'm gonna buy it simply because of games that are coming for it. You know, I'm not loyal to companies. I'm not loyal to consoles. I want to get it, you know, the Xbox One eventually. Maybe they remove the crap that's wrong with it, but I do want to get it simply for the games. If they come out with some new good exclusives that look interesting and they get pretty solid reviews, I'm going to want to check it out. You know, don't be surprised that you'll see me online on the Xbox One whenever it launches. I might not have it. I'm not going to buy it, definitely. My money's going to be going towards the PlayStation 4 first. But I have a buddy of mine that's more than likely going to get it, and I'm going to check it out. I want to see how the controller is. I want to see what the dashboard looks like. I'm going to see the new features in regards to the online friends capacity, the servers. Maybe games are strictly server based. There's no bad latency, bad lag. There's no horrendous ping times anymore when it comes to online shooters. You know, who knows, because they were making these claims about cloud computing and whatnot. Everything is in the cloud. That's just another point. They bring up the cloud computing, but they don't show you examples of what it's capable of. They just kind of leave you in the air, literally, with the cloud, no pun intended. They kind of leave you in the air, like hanging, like, okay, the cloud can do this, it's capable of that, but they don't show you anything. There's no you know, proof to back up their claim. And I think Sony's doing the exact same thing with the PlayStation 4, but I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe this is a new next-gen feature that these consoles are going to have, but neither of them did a good job of explaining what the fuck it's going to do. And cloud computing, meaning that you have servers doing almost like, I guess, CPU-like functions, and it's going to communicate with your console through the internet. So something's going to happen on one end, it's going to compute it, and it's going to send it back to your console through the internet. That's the gist of what I understood what cloud computing is. I just wish they would have gave better examples of what that actually means and how beneficial it is for gamers. That's what I want to see. What's the benefit? I want to see the pros. Give me the pros. You know, everyone's giving the fucking cons about the Xbox, you know. It's just a headache. I just wish things would have gone differently. You know, people have gotten sidetracked and forgot that Sony's still incorporating DRM, but it's not up to them. It's up to publishers, and more publishers than developers. Publishers fucking just send money around for people to make games. So, you know, what we saw this gen was the online passes, and it's more than likely it's going to be making a comeback. But, you know, I'll say this and I'll say it again. You speak with your money, vote with your dollar. If you don't pay for shit like that, you know, they're not going to do it. But if they're going to do it to a blockbuster title like Battlefield 4, for example, I don't think people can, you know, go out of their way to not buy the game simply for online passes. That's not going to happen. Battlefield has been a solid series these last few years, and it's been making people happy, and people enjoy playing the game, and it's a good competitor to the Call of Duty series and maybe the next Titanfall series. So I don't know, this next gen, I look forward to it. At the same time, a little skeptical, but let's see what happens. So this was Con Artist. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Got any questions, just hit me up through the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.